something weird happened on Saturday, and I ended up calling my doctor. But so we went to the racetrack, and I was there with Rick Allen, and we were walking around and talking and having, just seeing old friends and running into people and having a good time. And then the practice started, and I was like, Steve, let's go over to the pit wall in turn 3 right at the entrance to pit road and watch some practice. And that's like 10, 15, 20, it seems like 25 feet from the cars as they're going by. And so all these cars are going by, and I'm watching. Steve's like, hey, look at the 78 and how smooth his car comes into the corner in a splitter. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, just that whole environment, I got real nauseous. Yeah, and I started not feeling good. And so I said, I got to get away from these cars. I'm too close. And it reminded me a little bit of some of the stuff I was dealing with my concussion. And I went back to, I backed off, and Steve's like, let's go get on this hauler, the 13 hauler. And we climbed up on top of the 13 hauler. And as soon as I got on top of it, I said, Steve, I got to get down. He goes, what the hell? What's wrong now?
You ain't been out of racing that long.
And I said, well, I'm on the Geico hauler. I can't be on this hauler.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to get off this hauler. If I'm going to get on a hauler, I need to go get on the Nationwide 88 car hauler. So I got down off of that hauler. He's like, all right, I'm coming. I'm like, nah, you step here. I'm fine.
He's annoyed already.
He's annoyed.
I got the rookie with me.
Yeah. So I go over to the 88 hauler, and I got up on it, and I stood there for a minute, and it took about 30 minutes for that balance and that nausea to go away. And so I got real freaked out, like, man, something's wrong with my head, or it just reminded me of those symptoms from so many months ago. And I was like, I'm calling my doctor as soon as I get home.
Like, isn't the concussion doctor?
Yeah.
Or your
Mickey.
You called Mickey. You went straight to the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think? It's not like
because he's a concussion doctor. Clearly, you know this isn't from a concussion.
It was the exact same symptoms I dealt with when I had vestibular issues.
Okay.
But I called my doctor, and I was like, hey, doc, had this weird thing happen to me the other day. Told him what happened, and he was like, man, let me tell you a little story about this baseball player I was working with. He had some issues just similar to yours. He got cleared. Called me 2 years later. He's like, Doc, I'm freaking out. He's like, I was on this dock, and the waves were going one way, and a boat came by going the other way, and I about felt like I was going to fall off the damn pier. And my doctor explained it is basically my vestibular system had never been in that situation before. And I got to think, I'm like, nah, I've never been down in the corner watching cars practice. Never have. Never been there since I was a little kid, I ain't done that in years. I've been in the car. And when I was out of the car, I never was, standing 25 feet away from them as they practiced. So that was a real extreme environment to be in, and it made me trip out. And, give me some symptoms and stuff that reminded me of that illness that I had a couple years ago with the head issues. But my doctor's like, you know what you should have done? As soon as you started feeling better, you should have went right back down there. Got right back in it. And it's basically like he used to tell me years ago with my head, when I would get into situations that were complex and I'd get sick and feel bad, he's like, man, pull back, get to feeling better, and get back in there and do it again. And keep going, stretching it like a muscle. And eventually you're going to go over there and stand on the rail and watch them cars go by, and it's not going to bother you at all.
Really?
And I was like, damn, I should have done that. I felt like shit, though. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. I was like, get me out of here.
That's amazing.
I
can't believe that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, especially at that track. I mean, you can really get close to those cars.
My doctor's like, man, nothing to worry about. He's like, man, it's just your brain having to relearn something all over again. Like when your head heals from something like that, it don't just mean everything's going to be fine. Your brain has to kind of relearn to walk, relearn to do things, relearn balance. Your balance just doesn't come back like a memory, like a lost memory, or like riding a bike. It's just you have to relearn your balance.